Through the magic of editing, what you are about to see has already transpired, and I have finished upgrading my bass. But I'm not showing it to you yet because it hasn't happened yet. But it has. Editing is magic. Hey everybody, I'm Brant, and I am getting ready to put my bass, my Minsine bass guitar back together. Let's see, what have I done? I have, so I finished with the neck. I've checked all the fret levels. There was not anything to level. Everything came out really nice. One thing I realized is I don't have a notched ruler, straight edge, for this bass guitar. I'm not sure, I haven't had any problems with it, anyway, the neck is all polished, conditioned, cleaned, everything looks really nice. I've even filed down the fret edges here and filed the fret ends. I'm going to put the tuners in a little bit. I did want to start and get the bridge in first. I also wanted to point out something that I noticed when I was staining the neck on this guitar. I don't know if you can see the nut. Do you notice that the nut is not actually sitting on anything? It looks like it's attached to the end of the fingerboard. And if it's resting on any of the guitar neck, it's minimal. Maybe you can see it better this way, I'm not sure. But it is just kind of floating there. Now, I hadn't had any problems with it or anything like that. But I would imagine that's potentially an issue. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments if that's going to be... I'm worried that might be a problem down the road. Because I don't know how I would... How would you correct that? Anyway. Don't know if there's, I've not seen a guitar like that or another bass, but I haven't seen many basses, that's for sure. So if that's something that's normal, also let me know in the comments. Appreciate that. I want to get this bridge on. So I do have a ground wire here. I don't know if you can see right under my finger, just laying on the body, which is great. But because this is black bridge, I wanted to make sure that I was making contact with the metal. So I put the bridge on where it's going to go, which is right here. And then based on where this is, the ground wire, it's going to lay right here. So I have scratched off the paint on the back of the bridge, so that it's making contact with the metal. Just wanted to point that out. And these all line up perfectly.
Guyker gear from searching for tone. Brian's gift made the sound his own. Tuners gleam in that midnight shade. A tone mechanic, self-made. Turn it up, let the daylight fade. Black hardware dreams and the plans he's made. Every groove tells a story in time. That's Tony Yeager's bass line.
I was just thinking it would be nice if I had some black screws. I'm going to change all these screws out. I think that looks a bit better, having those on there instead. So I just have this relatively cheap box of black guitar screws that I got off of Amazon. So I was able to utilize, I will say in the process, I didn't necessarily strip them, but I jacked them up enough that I was like, I gotta take those out of the guitar. Pretty cheap screws, I think. Let me see about if I could change the pickups or not. Since I'm here, I might as well look. Nope, I definitely don't have any screws like that. So, okay, so tuners. I have not opened these yet. So like I said in my last video, the ones that I won from Brian were not the correct type of tuner for this guitar. Well, maybe I could have made them work if I had modified the headstock. But I didn't really feel like doing that, so I have those tuners still. And I believe in my last video I said they were left-hand tuners. They are not left-hand tuners, they are right-hand tuners. Like this. Open back. Guyker tuners. Been used once briefly. Not by me. And I know Brian takes good care of his stuff. So if you have a bass guitar that needs some new tuners and those work for you, reach out to me. My email is in my video, my channel description. If you go to my channel, and I will see, I don't know, maybe I'll do a drawing for them, or if there's multiple people. Or maybe it'll just depend on who I like the best. I'm just kidding. But if there's anybody out there who's interested, let me know. So these are the new ones. These Guyker. We've got this, which I think should be pretty straightforward. I've got 2 left and 2 right. So yes, those are, the other ones were right-hand, 4 right-hand tuners.
Another one bites on a Friday night. 7 Nation Army keeps the fire alight. Every mod, every tune he finds builds the soul of his kind. Turn it up, turn it up, turn it up, turn it up.
All right, that worked out really well. Tuners are on there, and they are went in perfectly. No need to re-drill anything, widen any holes, plug any holes, re-drill anything. That went really, really well. Man, this feels good. Frets feel really nice. The whole neck feels really nice. So I am ready to get this back on there. I like it so much better than that plain neck. So much better. Oh man. And it feels fantastic. Feels fantastic. Now I'm gonna polish the body on this, and I'm so happy. And Brian, thank you again. I know I didn't use the knobs or the tuners. Well, I've used the knob, but not on a bass. But I really like the tuners. But this bridge, I'm excited for that. I think it looks good, all blacked out. You know, Ted, for a second I was thinking about if this hadn't been black, I think I might have gone gold. I was considering doing gold up here, but nah. I think it looks cool blacked out, and the knobs blacked out. Just need to find some screws, and that would be complete. But yeah, that neck, oh man. But thank you, Brian. Awesome prize, and honestly, I haven't had this bass for very long, so great timing. Great timing on all of that. All right, let me get strings on this, and then I'll play it badly for a little bit, and we'll wrap it up.
Let the daylight fade, black heart where dreams and the plans he's made. Every groove tells a story in time.
Okay, so I have just got the Music Nomad truss rod gauge, which is a pretty cool little set. There's lots of videos on how to use it and stuff. Sorry, I'm not going over it with you, but I think if you have this sort of thing, you either know how to use it or it's pretty easy to find out. But I just measured the relief in the neck, and I did have to make some adjustments to the truss rod. I also recently got this the Music Nomad string action gauge, which I like a lot better than what I have been using because it's the white print on black background, which is much, much, much easier for me to read. I've noticed I've always struggled to get an accurate reading on the string height, string action, and this is very helpful. Also, what it's telling me is that my strings are extremely high off the fingerboard. So I have lowered my saddles as far as they will go, and I am still very high. So I think I need to shim the neck. I need to check the nut as well, although I am very reluctant to do anything with that nut because of what I showed you earlier, where it's just hanging off into space off the headstock. Also, I need to go take these saddles out, and I need to replace a couple of the springs with smaller springs because I need to be able to intonate. I need to intonate, I need to move the A string back just a tad and the E string back more than a tad. But the springs are locked. It's as far back as it'll go. So I need to either cut those springs to make them smaller or replace them with different springs, smaller springs, so I can move those saddles back a little bit more. So this is becoming a slightly longer project than I was thinking that it would, but that's okay because this is all, I've not set up this guitar, so this is all part of that process, and I want to make sure that it's done properly and good to go. Oh, and Future Brant is back, and yes, I am done. I think it turned out really nice. I had to, in the end, there that something I did off camera was I had to shim the neck to get the action a little bit lower. I actually shimmed it a couple of times. I'm not having any problems with the alignment, so I'm not worried about that gap. However, there is still a little bit of a gap there. It's not nearly as bad as what it was before. I'm not sure why. I added some stain to the heel of the neck, but I wouldn't think that would make too much difference, so I'll take it as a win. We replaced the bridge. We replaced these knobs with black knobs. I actually used black screws from a screw kit that I had because the ones that came with the bridge were just the nickel color. I have not replaced the silver screws for the pickups. I don't have those yet. Maybe I will. I have not replaced this chrome jack cover with black. I may do that at a later date. I didn't have one that matches style. I did replace the strap buttons with black strap buttons. And I've replaced the tuners with black tuners. Also, the screws for the truss rod cover are now black. And we stained the neck, which I'm quite pleased with. If you go back and look at my first video, how pale that maple neck was, this, I think, looks much, much better. Let me get this plugged in and I'll let you hear a little bit of how it sounds. All right, I'm just gonna do a couple of things real quick. I haven't been playing the bass very much, so I only know a couple of things that I can do. And also I haven't changed the pickups or anything, so I don't think it's necessarily about how it sounds differently now. But anyway, this is what it sounds like. Let me put it on a clean channel. Try some effects on. Let's just do that. Pretty cool, pretty fun, and I gotta say, I am loving this bridge. I don't know if I pointed this out before. These little roller saddles, you can actually adjust them, turn them in different ways, and they will move in different positions across the little screw there, so you can get really good alignment of your strings over the pickups, which I find to be pretty ingenious. I like that a lot. It just looks really good on there. I think with this color of the body, that looks really good. And the tuners fantastic. I really like the backs of them against the stained neck. Yeah, came together really great. Thank you again to Brian over at Searching for Tone for the Guyker parts. I know I've only used the bridge on here, but that is a nice piece of kit right there. And I'm really glad I got to upgrade this bass guitar with that. And I'm very happy with the tuners. They are doing a fantastic job. Well done, Guyker. Yeah. Anyway, that's going to do it for me. Really fun project to do. These Guyker parts, great. And staining the neck, I learned a lot. And a lot of you made a bunch of really great suggestions of how to get the color a little bit different like I was originally planning. I'm actually very happy with the way it turned out on this project. But I have a bunch of other pale necks up there that I might be attempting to do something a little bit different on. But I'm extremely happy with the upgrades and the changes that I made to this guitar. And if you have a guitar or a bass that you'd like to change it. You can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. Anyway, thanks again for watching. And as always, wherever you are in the world, I hope you're having a fantastic day. Cheers.